and while being handed what seemed to be a novel worth of papers, the lady at the front of the room said, "This is getting really boring, isn't it?" Shyly, we all chuckled and agreed. She said, "Okay, give me a song, something I might know." And from the back, someone said, "Yellow Submarine." So the lady at the front of the room, who was dressed and spoke very professionally, said with a laugh, "Okay, I'm going to sing you the next handout to the tune of the Yellow Submarine." And from that moment, I knew I was really gonna like Audrey Arsenault. I can still picture Audrey up there singing that handout, backup dancers and all. It was a sight. My first few months, I was one of the shy ones, believe it or not. But quickly, I got to know my teachers and some of my classmates, and I started to feel more at home. By Christmas time, I had volunteered with the Santa Project. I was overwhelmed thinking of all the families' faces as they unwrapped the beautiful gifts we were able to buy them. I felt like one of Santa's elves, getting the families' wants and needs and being able to give them a wonderful Christmas. It was this event that I first realized that those people in the offices were more involved than I had originally thought. Seeing them all show up on a Thursday morning in December with pens, stickies, and scissors with a smile on their face to wrap presents for people who just wanted to give their kids a Christmas helped me to realize who they really were. But my awesome experience did not stop there. As my first year went on, my worries of fitting in and actually being able to excel faded away, and I started to feel truly at home there. I remember saying to one of my classmates that we're just like one great big dysfunctional family, and I love it. For me, this school has been like my home away from home. And I honestly could not tell you how many times I have heard, "Are you honestly still here? Or do you ever go home?" Every day I woke up so excited to see what awesome people I would encounter, what experiences I would have, and what memories I would make. Speaking of memories, there were many that stuck out in my mind over the past 2 years I've had at NSCC. I had the privilege of being a judge at the Chignecto Regional Science Fair, both this year and last. Going into it, I had absolutely no idea what to expect or how to prepare myself for such an event. But I would have to say that it was one of the most empowering, humbling, and intimidating experiences of my entire life. Being considered an equal to so many well-educated and powerful people was one of the most amazing things. I was also honored in November of last year to accompany a few of our staff, including our principal, Mr. Freckleton, and a couple of our school council members, to a banquet for the Chamber of Commerce in this building. That evening, I met so many great business people, including the Deputy Minister of Education, Mrs. Sandra McKenzie. What an experience. Having the opportunity to sit in the same room as so many well-established people while trying to figure out which fork to use was definitely an experience I will never forget. This past year, I also had the opportunity, like many others, to volunteer at the trades competition. As I arrived on the day of the competition, I was told that I had been assigned a group of 13 ninth grade students that I was to escort from stop to stop on the agenda. As I started, I tried being as professional as possible, and all the kids seemed to automatically hate me, which I thought was just awesome, of course. However, after dropping the extremely fake professionalism I had been trying to sell, they quickly realized that I, too, knew how to speak as a teenager. After this realization, we seemed to get along just fine. However, I think the most rewarding part of the whole thing was when one of their teachers came up to me when they were leaving and told me that I was one of the best tour guides she had ever had, and she was one seasoned teacher to be telling me this. In that moment, it became very clear to me that guidelines are just that, and sometimes you have to actually be yourself, and people will be more open to what you have to say. We've had some good times at NSCC this past year, from trying to shame the faculty at Fit to Fly, and yes, Trevor, I said try. They beat us by 1 point. To finding Waldo at Halloween, to drag racing belt sanders at the trades competition, to African dancing in the Commons. And thank God that therapy is included in the health insurance plan, but I don't even think that's going to be able to pull the images of Scott McGilvery and Bert Thompson shaking what their mama gave them. It was that funny too. I honestly could go on for hours about the awesome events and opportunities and stories that I've had the opportunity to be a part of, but we simply don't have enough time. Personally, I would like to thank my family, especially my parents and my grandparents, who happily agreed to join us this evening. Thank you all for your never-ending support, encouragement, and for believing in me even when I didn't believe in myself. Thank you to my friends and classmates for encouraging me to follow my dreams and making these past couple of years some of the absolute best yet. Thank you to all of the staff and the faculty who make that place run like a well-oiled machine. You are all so appreciated for what you do, and you will never know how well appreciated you are. To my teachers, well, I could honestly go on about you guys forever and never thank you enough. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You all made these last 2 years some of the best and most memorable. Your kind, encouraging, and motivating words, as well as the occasional hug, pat on the back, and wonderful smiles have made this experience one I will never forget. To me, you are all superheroes, and I feel honored to have met each and every one of you. When I think of my future, because unfortunately they've told me I can't stay in NSCC forever, I can always hear Daryl Ingram say to me, Nicole, just figure out what you love to do and figure out how to get paid for it. In the past couple of years, I've realized that no matter how much education, wealth, or stuff that you may have, the most important thing is to be happy. I can't tell you how much I'm going to miss that place. All of those long 4:30 days, the artery clogging poutine, the emergency Tim Hortons runs, the crazy laughter in the hallways, making biology jokes in Daryl's class, and seeing all of your wonderful faces every single day. It's amazing to think how close people can get when 90% of your time spent with said people are in a classroom trying not to have an aneurysm or pull your hair out. But it's also amazing to think of how sad it can be to know that you aren't going to be able to see those people every day anymore. But just remember what Dr. Seuss said, don't cry because it's over, just smile because it happened. Thank you all so much, and congratulations, grads. I'll see you all tomorrow in our super awesome penguin outfits marching across that stage.